Hey y'all, Dekumon here, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers. Still feels weird kind of say that. Anyway, before we get into this, I do kind of want to apologize for not getting any videos out in the past week and change. It's been a little crazy around here, and in fact you might notice it sounds just a hair different. Well, my room's been pretty thoroughly rearranged and the carpeting is now hard floor, so a touch more echo. I'm gonna do my best to try and clean it up. So if it's a little more echoey than it has been before, I apologize. I will do the best I can. Can't exactly hang up acoustic blankets in here or anything like that. But anyway, last time, we found ourselves in the Mirror Universe, or rather something close to it. No, we've left the Heidelin source and traveled to the first, one of the shards. And this place has seen better days. Seriously, 90% of this world is just screwed up. If I can actually, I don't need my mouse for this. Right. I just want to see Norvrant. Can I go? I just want to zoom all the way out. All the way out. All the way out. Where's my region map? It's been ages since I've actually had to use this. There we are. This is what I wanted to see. The region map. As you can see here, there's not much left of this world. This border here, this was the flood of light. This is all that's left of this world. It's been through heck. Now, we have also run into our friend the Crystal Exarch here, he who brought us to this place. So this is kind of his fault. And it turns out the Scions have been here far longer than we thought, because time dilation. Now we have a choice. Alphino or Alice? Well, I've already made this choice, and I know who exactly I want to see, and it's Alphino. You will visit Alphino in Calusa then. Excellent. As I mentioned, your destination is an island off the west coast, so you will need a mount capable of making the journey. Here is a letter of introduction. Present it to Sim Jamal, the master of beasts at Tenemus Rookery, and he will take care of you. When you see Alphino, be sure to pass on my warmest regards. Warmest regards, eh? Well, I could pick up the Alice quest as well, but I want to just focus on Alphino for right now. Ah, the farmyard. We also got to spend a lot of time exploring this amazingly huge city. I mean, dang. Oh, one of the lizard men. Your face is unknown to me. What business have you at my rookery? Here, take this, know who I am, and give me a bird. Signed by the Exarch, no less. Yes, I can provide you with an Amado for passage to Calusia. I will pick you out a friendly whelp. An Amaro, you say? Not a chocobo, then? Yeah, I got used to chocobos. A chocobo? Do you hail from one of Norvrant's more isolated settlements by chance? I hear there are a few places where they ride little else. But here in the Crystalium, mounts like that grey fellow there are far more commonly used. Ah, so that must be an Amaro. Seeing as you are plainly unaccustomed to riding Amado, I think it best I accompany you on this flight myself. Is one of these birds going to be able to take the two of us? You're kind of a big guy. Any Zun worthy of the name could do it, of course, but the Exarch sent you to me, and ensuring you arrive safely is my responsibility. Gather your things and meet me at the Amado launch. One of the junior tamers will attend to you while I ready the mounts. Oh, mounts plural. Fair, fair, fair. This must effectively be the airship landing for right now. Although I suppose airships probably not that useful with sin eaters running around. You want to fly an Amaro to Calusia? Well, I suppose the Master Jamai is going with you. Wait here, please. The Master should be along with the mount shortly. Good. You can now travel to Calusia, speak with the aspiring Amaro tamer to fly to the island. You can also use your ether compass to assist with locating ether currents in new regions. Yes, I definitely need to be doing that. The ether compass can be found under collection in the duty section of the main menu.
The whistling breeze, mute. The pounding surf, frozen. Time itself takes a breath. At light's edge, all is perfectly still. The world captured in a painting, locked in a moment. Music, faint and fleeting, drifts coastward on the lifeless air. And in the distance, beyond the broken earth, a city beckons.
A city of contrasts, I see. Wow, look at all the broken ships underneath it, too. We are arrived. This is Cracked Shell Beach on the eastern coast of Calusia. We should be safe here for the present. Compared to the mainland, Sin Eater attacks are far less prevalent, and the native beasts are not any more dangerous than elsewhere. It is the people you should be wary of. The people? Why is that? Got a problem with the crazy city over here? Spy you that city in the distance. That is Yulmore, the island's main settlement. It rivals the Crystarium in scale, and was once an ally in our battle against the abominations. Once? What are they doing now? For years, the Umoran elite have fancied themselves the masters of what remains of our broken world. They have gone as far as to offer the leaders of other settlements their protection, if we bend the knee. But to say their ideals are questionable would be putting it mildly. The Crystarium is one among many who resist their heavy-handed authority, and while we are not at war, our relationship with Yulmore is strained at best. It may be wise to conceal your ties with the Exarch during your stay here, especially in the vicinity of the city. Good idea. I am glad we understand each other. Now, the Exarch has instructed me to divulge a secret that should make finding your friend a good deal easier. Listen closely. A secret? Come on, tell me. I'm sure it's not that bad. A still tide. If you head south along the coast, you will eventually come to a fisherman's shack. A friend of the Crystarium lives there, a man who goes by the name Eyeball. Eyeball keeps an eye on everything that happens in Calusia, and will be able to point you in the right direction. Just hand him a spring of time, that will let him know you can be trusted. Here, this should be enough. Find your friend. I will stay here with the Amado until you are ready to return. Oh. Well, that's convenient. Alright, what have I got for map? Oh, this place is really, really big. And what do I find along the path but our first ether current? And actually not far from said fisherman's shack that I need to go to. Alright, well, now that we actually have an ether current, we should be able to see, yes, there are 4. There's only 4? Wow. That's gonna make doing this a lot easier if there's only 4 I have to pick up, plus 5 from questing. That's handy. And you, sir, you must be Ivor, and there's an ether right over there that I need to pick up here soon enough. What are you after? Fish? Crab? Think I got an eel in a barrel somewhere if you have a taste for them. No, actually I have a taste for time. Ooh, I do love a bit of thyme. Chuck some in a pan and it's like a bloody festival of flavor. Now, what is it can I do for you? Can't say as there's been any major upsets to report these past few weeks. Looking for a buddy of mine, Alphino. Alphino, eh? Aye, I know the one. A young champion at the Downtrodden. Yulmore's Richard, Noel, and Norvrant put together, but it's a different story for them as live outside the city. Most spend every waking moment just trying to stay alive, which makes your friend's dedication to helping others stand out all the more. Aye, I can hazard a guess as to where he is now. Get a message to him, but you'll need somewhere quiet to meet, away from prying eyes. Make for Stilltide. That's the fishing village just up the path there. You're looking for a rundown excuse for a tavern the locals call the Leaky Keel. Wait there, and I'll see that Alphino joins you. An excuse to go to the village. I mean, I have no problem with that. I need that aetherite. There we are. That takes care of the aetherite, and this must be a leaky keel. Definitely looks like a leaky keel. Maybe that's what they made it out of, an old ship. This your first time in a tavern? It's customary to buy a drink if you mean to loiter. What do you be having? Ale, mead, water. Honestly, I don't like drinking in real life, so just give me a water, please. A fine choice. And what will you be paying with? Well, apparently Gil works here, so here you are. Well now, those are exotic. Where did you come by coins like that? Oh, I'm sorry, dear. I don't doubt they have value, but I don't have a touchstone to test their purity.
and I'm not about to go begging for one from the neighbors, so we'll just have to come to some other arrangement.
Ah, classic adventurer's problem. Gotta put my ass to work, right?
Ah, here's an idea. There's a common to the north where we grow our vegetables, but lately the pests have been eating more of them than we have. What do you say to a bit of extermination work? I want you to squash any vermin you find, then visit the caretaker and give him an earful from me for sleeping on the job. He'll be in the old silo next to the fence, snoring like as not. Do that for me, and you can lace about here as long as you like.
See? I knew this was gonna happen. Can't have a new adventure without being called a new adventurer. I mean, technically I am a new adventurer to these guys, but this is old hat. On the plus side, it does give me... Excuse me! I'm walking here, and you are not on the kill list. Anyway, as I was saying, it does kind of give me an excuse to talk about one of the only things about this expansion I do not like, and that is the open world battle theme. I'm gonna be honest, I really don't like it. Compared to the others, it's kind of a pain in the butt to listen to. I don't know why, I just don't like it. Take a listen. Is that the only guy I have to deal with? Ah, no, there's another. Now, my big problem with this thing is it's that opening. That opening is just atrocious. Now, granted, the theme actually does get better, but it just takes so long to get going. Put myself a barrier here. Maybe one of you guys can break this barrier and I can get an adder sting. Come on, I'm not asking for much, just break my barrier. Ah, thank you. Ugh, small fries, man. Small fries. The one downside to being a healer, my offensive skills, not the greatest. There we are. That takes care of the pest problem. Now for he who is supposed to be watching for the pests. Hello? Are you in here? No response. Maybe you need to knock louder. No response. Perhaps the occupant is hard of hearing. Or he's dead. Hello? Oh, that's a bad sound. You hear a faint squeaking from the room beyond. Time to bust in and save the day, brave adventurer. Save him from the rats. No one's home, and judging by the lack of furniture, they haven't been for some time. The gnawed scraps of vegetables on the floor suggest rats have taken up residence in their absence. Lovely. Well, this was, well, at least moderately useful, although it seems now they need to find somebody new to watch the crops. Well, that was a nice little detour.
Welcome back, dear. What did that good-for-nothing caretaker have to say for himself?
Nothing. Wasn't there.
Gone? Must have left to join the rest of the hopefuls.
Hopefuls?
In Gate Town, outside Yormore. You don't have a clue what I'm talking about, do you? And there I was thinking you were another dreamer. Well, never mind all that. Take a seat wherever you like, dear. You've more than earned it. I'll even throw in another drink on the house.
I mean, sure. Second water probably won't tax your supplies too much. Or maybe I'll finally go for something stronger.
And how is business today, Mistress Theva?
Oh, Alphado? The hell are you wearing?
Oh, frenetic. Look, I have a new customer.
Well, buddy, we both sporting a new look.
'Tis good to see you, my friend.
Likewise, man.
The barley seeds you wanted. They should produce a better harvest than the last.
What, just like that? Oh, Alfie, no, you really are a dear.
Yes, he is.
Well, I'd best be tidying up some of those empty shacks before the pests move in. Keep an eye on the place while I'm out, eh?
Convenient. Get to have ourselves a nice private conversation.
It seems an age since last we spoke. Not since the prisoner exchange in Doma. And Yotsu.
Oh man, that's right. You have missed so much.
It has been even longer for me, of course, if you count the days I've spent here. The time has only added to the relief I feel seeing you safe and well.
Yeah, me? I was more worried about you. We thought we'd lost you. Yeah, exactly. We were more worried about you than anything.
Huh. Alize said much the same thing. I don't think I've ever had such a scolding. But I believe an exchange of news is in order. Come, tell me of your arrival and all that came before.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a long tale. And a nod to go with it. Oh, 6 hours later.
I see. Both the Exarch and Alize told me what they knew of events, but I had stubbornly clung on to the hope that all-out war might yet be avoidable. And poor Tataru. She must be sick with worry. We must endeavor to return as soon as we may.
Yeah, well, on the plus side, I can at least travel back and forth freely and send messages, so if you want to write her a letter, let me know.
It would be nice to bring her good tidings for a change. But before we bid this world farewell, we must first ensure that it is not rejoined to the source. We must prevent the 8th Umbral calamity.
That would be a good idea. Any idea how?
Urianger's vision of the future has, I fear, every chance of coming true. By his description, the catalyst for the calamity was a formless and deadly weapon employed by the Garlean Empire.
Black Rose, most like.
Which can only mean one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Black Rose. Gaius was telling you the truth. When we were on the trail of the Ascians, we saw evidence that the gas was being manufactured once more. Gaius was adamant that the project had been scrapped, but so long as there are wars to be waged, there will always be those determined to win by any means. And thus simply destroying the existing stores of Black Rose would do little to alter fate's course.
No. Sounds like we need to just go to the Empire directly and start kicking their ass. Keep them from making this stuff in the first place.
In that sense, our involuntary journey here to the First was something of a boon. Together with the Exarch, we've developed a theory as to how we believe the rejoining will be set in motion.
Okay.
I'm sure Urianger himself will cover the subject in more detail.
Yeah, that's true. Still gotta chase him down.
But I can tell you the process requires that both worlds, the Source and the First, be facing an existential threat.
So we solve the problem here, we keep the rejoining from happening.
One being Sin Eaters, of course. They are a menace that I would dearly love to remove, and not just to avert a calamity. I may be a stranger to this world, but I will not stand idly by and let innocent people be slaughtered.
Good old Alphino.
That is what brought me to the gates of Yulmore. Ignoring its pretensions as a kind of capital city to what remains of the world, it is nonetheless a center of power and authority.
Okay.
If any solutions are to be found, I believe our search should begin there. What say you, old friend? Hungry for another adventure?
Like I was gonna say no. Come on, let's get to it.
and so we take to the road once more.
Yeah. Besides, I'm sporting the outfit you're going to be wearing, an expansion or so, or at least the toys you'll be playing with. I suspect you'll have the higher level ones. Oh, that takes care of that quest. I think there's a good chunk of quests for each of these legs, but they're relatively short. Open arms, closed gate.
Assuming you have no objections, let us make our way directly to the city outskirts. If we time our arrival just right, you may be lucky enough to see why I have yet to set foot in Yulmore, despite my best efforts to do so. Come, from here we must head west, and then cross a small bridge.
Alright, off we go. Actually, good question first off. Is there another one of these nearby? 789 to the west. I wonder if we have a way to get up there. There has to be, because it looks like the map goes on up there. Let's see if I can avoid, no, didn't think so. Excuse me, sir. I know, I'm just gonna drag the Gobu around the world here. See, Alphino was waiting up for us.
Calusia seems peaceful, does it not? Almost familiar. I had a similar impression at the Crystarium. Even in this distant world, people are much the same. To think that whenever calamity struck the source, a reflection such as this one, with all its culture and history, was being erased from existence. No! Get away from me! Over there! Quickly, someone's in trouble.
The heck? What's going on over here? Uh-oh, Sin-Eaters. Let me get my Chocobro out.
Oh, that defeats you! Look out!
Alright. Time to take on our first actual Sin-Eater. And they're really not much different than just normal enemies. I kind of wish they actually had their own, unique mechanic. Nope. You don't get to play that game. Though, interesting enough, all the Sin-Eaters have the same naming scheme other than the unique ones. They're all called Forgiven something. So this guy is called Forgiven Cowardice. Excuse me, while I put on a shield. And Chocobro here heals me up. Come on, hit me! I dare ya. Oh, you popped my shield, did you? Wow, this guy's tough. This guy is legit tough. He is taking a pounding, even with the Chocobo out. Come on. There we go. Finally put that thing down. Whew. Lady, you alright? Old lady, you alright?
My poor heart. Thank you, young sir. Ah, there you are. In my haste, I lost my bearings, but I see you have the situation well in hand. Fine work. Are you all right, madam? Just a few bruises from where I fell. Nothing compared to what was in store for me before this brave soul came to my rescue. I honestly thought I was done for. My feet are not as swift as they once were, and I knew there was no one left to hear me scream. Not that I let that stop me. I should probably leave my old house behind and queue up outside Yulmore with the rest of them.
Alphino doesn't seem too fond of that idea.
Doubt these fancy looks and ladies would welcome an old crone like me. Still, even a shack near the gate has to be safer than staying here.
Ew.
One would hope. Either way, I suggest you avoid wandering alone, lest you make the Sin-Eater's task any easier. Thank you again. You saved my life. Now, I'm sure a strapping lad like you has little to fear, but I wouldn't linger long in this place. There's not to be had here but cobwebs and memories.
So what, everyone's just queuing up outside Yulmore trying to get into the city?
'Tis as the lady says. Many in these parts have abandoned their homes to live in Yulmore's shadow. Should the Sin-Eaters descend upon this region, there are precious few with the strength to fight them off.
Lucky us.
Speaking of which, what have you been told of these monsters?
Not much.
A brief history then. 'Twas not long after the flood swallowed the better part of the world that the Sin Eaters first appeared, some beastly, some beauteous.
Really? Odd.
Yet, regardless of their form, all seem incapable of speech, and all are driven by the same insatiable appetite for mortal ether. They are predators, and we are their prey. Calucia suffers from far fewer attacks than most regions, but even so, the list of the Sin Eater's victims grows longer by the day. A tragedy without end.
Lovely. Lovely.
Still, we have won a small victory this time at least. Now, shall we press on? We need to return to where the road forks and follow the path that leads west.
That was a nice, worthwhile detour, as long as the lady doesn't get eaten on the road. And now we come across our first major hurdle here. My compass says I want to go 249 to the northwest, which would put me up here somewhere, and 78? Okay, well that's definitely not happening, so we're gonna have to come back and clean up these later, because it's very obvious I can't get to all the ether currents right now. Ugh. Wow, it's a shanty town. Lovely. Is this what everyone who's still waiting to get into Yulmore lives? Oh, this is definitely gonna be voice acted.
That gate up ahead is known as the Open Arms, and Yulmore itself lies beyond. This, meanwhile, is the aptly named Gate Town, the dwelling place of the many desperate souls who hope to be chosen to live in the city proper.
It's a flippin' ghetto.
I thought I recognized you. Brought a new friend, eh?
Can I help you, sir?
I'll bet you got a trick or two up your sleeve. Maybe even 3. Care to show me?
Oof.
He's not here to compete. Leave him be.
What? I was only making conversation.
Compete? What, are we putting on a show? Uh-oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please!
What the? What do we got going on over here? Oh no.
Greetings to our hopeful petitioners, one and all. Yulmore extends its warmest regards. Let it be known that a lady of distinction wishes to dine on fish divine. We seek a master culinarian who can guarantee seafood perfection. Dazzle the matron with your delicious dishes, and life in the city will be yours to enjoy, even on days when fish is not on the menu!
Used to remind me of, like, the jesters from Final Fantasy IX. You remember those two? The ones always hanging around the queen?
Who among you will answer the call? Name yourself or another. We may not at all.
Master Fish Cook. Don't look at me.
What about
I
that?
don't have any culinary levels.
Do you recall how I said Yulmore was a center of power and authority? Well, that is not the only reason for its fame. It is also known as the City of Final Pleasures. The noble and the wealthy who survived the flood gathered here to live out the rest of their days in decadent abandon.
Of course they did.
A poor man could sooner pass through the Iron Needle than Yulmore's gates. The only way the common folk can enter this perverted paradise is if they fulfill the whim of one of the privileged. And so they are picked over like market produce.
Well, that's horrible. And what's in the sacks?
What a catch! We'll not be throwing this one back. Having seen your all too obvious charms,
We welcome you with open arms. Come, join us in the city of splendor and live out your life in an ecstasy of endeavor.
Forgive me if I don't really believe that. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, just look at those expectant faces. What could you possibly be waiting for? Well, what have we here? An extra share of meal to celebrate our newest resident.
Meal? Oh shit, they're going nuts for this stuff.
For you.
You're passing out drugs?
Thank goodness.
Meal is a foodstuff which Yulmore routinely doles out to the people of Gatetown, and apparently a staple for its citizens as well. Many here rely on it to survive in these times of scarcity. Yet the whole arrangement just seems...
Sketchy? Yeah, definitely.
Well, let's just say it leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, what, did you try a bite of this stuff? God, you did, didn't you? Sheesh, it's like they were passing out sacks of cocaine or something. The way everyone reacted. Ooh. Why am I getting the glare here? Oof. Well, that's not disturbing at all, thank you. The creepy music that I always, associate with that damn dollhouse fight doesn't help either.
Now you understand why my attempts to enter the city have thus far come to naught. The dubious privilege of residency must be won via a contest with ever-changing rules.
Where's Thancred when you need him?
They say this policy has been in place for the past 2 decades, ever since Yulmore's current ruler came into power. Yet, from what I have seen, it does more harm than good. Not only does it distract people from our shared struggle against the Sin Eaters, it robs them of their self-sufficiency. I have tried to propose ways they can improve their lot, but my words invariably fall on deaf ears. The attitude is so entrenched now. I worry that, well, mayhap you should take a turn around Gatetown and judge the situation for yourself.
Mayhap I shall, it seems. Oh, you again.
Still here, are you? Can't blame you for wanting a slice of Yulmore's pie. If you ask me, you should ditch that sour-faced brat and make a home for yourself here. Gatetown's not much to look at, aye, but at least it's safe. And the meal is the best thing I've ever tasted.
It is drugs, isn't it? That's all it is. You just drugged the bread. Is this what I'm supposed to be looking at? The cook pot? A large pot bubbles over the flame, excuse me, Chocobo. Pale chunks, meal you realize, float in the otherwise plain broth. So it needs to be cooked too. Interesting, it looked like it was pre-made. I don't know, suppose, yeah, throw it in a pot, make soup out of it, it'll last longer. Hello? Oh, is this the lady from? No, it's not, she's much younger.
Just look at it. Can you imagine a more beautiful city?
Yeah, actually I can, it's called the Crystarium.
Every day, I dream of the life that waits for me inside those walls. Oh, will they ever pick me?
If all these people do is just sit around here waiting to get picked over, they're never gonna improve their own lot. No wonder Alphina's sick of these people.
You've seen what Gatetown has to offer. These people no longer fend for themselves. They've become dependent on handouts of meal, and believe Yulmore is the answer to all their woes. Yet, no matter how I frame my encouragement, they seem unwilling, nay, unable, to conceive of any other way of life.
It's the drugs, man. It's all the drugs. A fickle existence. Everyone's so high on meal, they can't think of anything else. You disapprove of these people's way of life. You disapprove of Yulmore. Yeah, no, you disapprove of how these people are living.
Disapprove? It frustrates me, certainly. That is only a part of it, though. The whole situation makes me uneasy. Not that it matters. However, unjust this system may be to me, if these people claim to be content with their lot, it is hardly my place to criticize their choices. But take that elderly lady you rescued. Does it not seem that those who have chosen to forego Yomo's largesse are doomed to suffer for their independence?
Ah, because the Sin Eaters won't come here, supposedly, right?
In the end, they are all but forced to seek refuge in Gate Town, and so hamlets and fields across the island are left empty and untended, hastening the region's descent into ruin. Nay, I am not convinced that Yomo's generosity truly serves the best interests of Calusia's people. I am not so naive as to think there is some miraculous solution to all of this, yet I cannot help but frown at the sight of hard-working villagers struggling to survive, even as the chosen few rejoice at being plucked from poverty by the hand of a capricious noble. There has to be a better way. I will not know for sure, however, until I have taken those long-delayed steps through Yomo's gates. 'Tis fortunate that you arrived when you did, Dekumon. I've been working on a scheme to insinuate myself into the city, and if all goes to plan, it should soon come to fruition. There is a beast tribe who makes its home in the seas surrounding the island. The Ondo, they are called, though you and I know them as Sahagan. For the most part, they keep to themselves in the ocean grottos, and rarely have dealings with land dwellers.
Kinda smart.
But as Tataru took such great pains to impress upon me during our stay in Kugone, business favors the bold, and so I reached out to them. I duly discovered that the Ondo are inordinately fond of land-grown produce, fresh fruits in particular, and when I offered to procure such goods for them, they promised to pay me in pearls. An attractive business venture for any prospective investor, would you not agree? Surely even the most jaded Yomoran lord would have time for a merchant who can make pearls from plums and pumpkins.
You sly fox.
Yes, I've come a long way since my days of buying samurai swords without first negotiating a price.
Yeah, I should hope so.
My appointment with the Ondo is due to take place in a few hours. I just need to collect the produce and meet with them on the shore. Might you help me make the exchange?
It's not like I've got anything better to do, just stand around here.
Excellent. I shall be glad of your company. First things first then, we must pay a visit to Moshamoa, my supplier and bright. Come, it's just to the northwest of here.
I'm being watched. Our plan's about to go awry, isn't it? There's Moshamoa, and plus side, this little detour also gives me another aetheryte that I can teleport around to. Thank you. Now, fresh produce, oh, she's a Miko.
Is there something I can do for you, friend? Good day to you, Moshamoa. This is my associate, Dekumon. We are here to collect the produce I purchased. Eh? I loaded your lackey up with goods not long ago. My lackey? I know no such person.
Excuse me, I'm standing right here in front of you.
Mr. Ladd, short blue hair? No, he said he'd come on your behalf. And since he seemed to know all the details, I just assumed...
God dang it, the guy who was watching us.
Confound it. Someone must have been eavesdropping on our conversation. If this charlatan was here not long ago, he cannot have gone far. We should split up and search the area. You'll find a vantage point on the south side of town, and I shall take the west.
Oh dear, we have a thief. There's the spot. Search surroundings for a male mistle with short blue hair. You can move the camera. Yep, we've done this before. Alright, now where are you, you son of a... Is that him? I see a person walking around. I just need to zoom in sufficiently so I can actually see them. That's him, the blue-haired mistle. You've located your quarry. Wonder if link pearls work in this world.
Dekumon, any sign of him?
Yeah, he's right out there.
You've a keen eye. Let us move in before he makes good his escape.
I'm half surprised there was no nod there.
There you are.
Alright, buddy, time to hand over the produce.
The thief who claims the harvest on my behalf. Hand it over.
Well, forgive me. I have to get into the city. I have no family and all my friends have already been chosen. No one here gives a damn about me. When the meal gets handed out, I'm lucky if I get a smell of it.
Might be a good thing.
No matter what I do, they won't call out my name. I'm so tired, I'm so bloody hungry. I thought maybe I could steal your idea. Get in that way.
Don't do it, Alphino. Don't do it.
What is your name?
God dang it.
Kai Shear.
Tell me then, Kai Shear. Must it be Yulmore or nothing? What of the Crystarium? They may not offer charity, but you would be fairly compensated for any work you did.
No, it has to be Yulmore.
Why?
That's where all my friends are. We made a promise that we'd live together in paradise.
Oh, okay. Fair enough then. But I don't think you'll like what you find in there.
I was to make my deal with the Ondo at the Clave. Listen carefully, and I shall tell you my plans for the business, and how best to arouse the Yulmoran's interest.
God dang it. Alphino, come on!
You'll give me your place? Just like that?
It's too nice. Same as me. Well, we better have a plan B for getting into the city then.
I'm giving you a chance, nothing more. What comes of it is entirely up to you.
I understand. Oh, thank you, thank you!
Lovely. So now what are we gonna do, Alphino? The pearl thing was our way into the city. Got a backup? They're not a juggle in
This
the
was
time
but
being?
one path. There will be others. But for young Kai Shear, it was the difference between life and death. I do not regret my decision, yet I will admit that a part of me wonders if it was for the best. We strive to bring swift salvation to this world, that countless lives might be saved, not least your own. Even if it came at the cost of one man, should I have forged on regardless?
No, that's not who you are, exactly. Quite possibly. Meaning we better hurry up and think of a new plan. No, that's not who you are, Alphino. That's exactly not who you are.
I suppose not. Were Estinian here, he would most likely scoff at my soft-heartedness.
Yep.
Same old Alphino, ever the slave to sentiment.
But I thank you for your kind words nonetheless. Let us see to it that both these stories have a happy ending.
Oh shit, Estinian in his grumpier days probably would have ran the kid through for trying to steal the food.
Shall we return to Wright then?
Alright, well, we gotta figure out some other way into the city. Maybe one of us could take up juggling.
Is that?
Hmm? What? What? What do you see?
I can't be sure, but I think someone's in trouble.
That's definitely somebody.
Come on, they may need our help.
The heck? Well, that's bloody convenient. The ether current is right here by the body. They must have pruned out a lot of the ones that were off in the middle of nowhere. Oh, that's 2 ether currents down, and 1 weakened wretch that I have to pick up. Don't worry, Alphino and I are both healers. We can fix him up. At least hopefully.
That should take care of the worst of his injuries. Mercy. Mercy, I beg you. Breathe easy, sir. No harm will come to you here. The poor man is shivering. Pray keep an eye on him while I get a fire going.
Yeah. Maybe bright as shit out, but it's still nighttime, probably.
I thought for certain I was dead. How am I ever to repay this kindness? You'll settle for the tale behind your current predicament. Why don't you begin by telling us your name? Tristal. I was invited into Yomor to work as an artist.
What's the matter? Paint something they didn't like?
A wealthy couple took me in to paint pictures for them, but when my style proved contrary to their tastes, they just as quickly turned me out to the street. I was left penniless and patronless, a grave sin in Lord Volthry's city. Within days, they had brought me before the man himself, and he asked me what I meant to do. Dejected as I was, I told him that I wished to leave. Little did I know how soon he would grant my wish. They flung me over the ball strait into the godsdamned ocean.
Damn. That's a hell of a swim from here.
From up there? How were you not dashed to pieces? Don't ask me. Luck, I suppose. Though if you hadn't found me when you did, it wouldn't have counted for much.
Yeah, you've probably been Sin Eater Chow.
Monstrous. And the citizens condone such barbaric punishment? Oof. Oh, that's a second thought. When Lord Volthry passes judgment, no one so much as blinks, let alone argues. In your ball, his word is law.
We have a despot on our side, it sounds like. Excuse me, sir. I prefer not to walk on hot coals.
The more I hear about Yomor, the more determined I am to see what waits within its walls. I shall bend all my thoughts towards securing another way into the city. There must be something we can do. But first, we should convey Tristal to the shelter of the village. Fire and no fire, he needs to be out of this chilly coastal air. Away into the city.
He may have an idea. Well, hopefully he has some semblance of how to get us in.
Pray, accept my deepest gratitude. I owe you both my life. And if you'll permit me, I would assist you in your attempt to enter Yomor, insofar as I'm able at any rate. To be frank, the thought of sending my saviors into that awful place makes me sick to the stomach. But since it's plain you've set your minds on it, you should take this.
This being...
It's my favorite paintbrush. The Yomoran elite are never satisfied until they get exactly what they want, and if I'm not mistaken, the couple I mentioned will be looking for someone to replace me. If you make a show of owning such a well-used brush, you may be able to convince people you have a talent for painting.
Oh no!
Are you certain? This is your livelihood. We cannot deprive you of such a treasured possession. I give it gladly after all you've done for me. Besides, I can't... I don't think I have the heart to paint anymore. As to what I'll do instead, I honestly haven't decided. But I shan't stay long in this place, not with that city brooding over me. Nay, I'll move on to new lands and a new profession, and I'll keep you in my prayers from now until my dying day.
Aww. That's not too bad, actually. Ooh, the City of Final Pleasures. You know, I have a sneaking suspicion that that's probably something I'm going to want to save for later. So, if you've enjoyed this, please leave a like and favorite, and subscribe to join me for more adventures in Novrant. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.